Rita, why are you in a different room? Where the hell are you right now? That's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. So guys, go grab some popcorn, grab some drinks and buckle up because today's video is a whole ride. So yes, I am in a new room, as you can tell. I'm going to be telling you why that is today. And why am I doing that? Because with everything that has happened, I might as well get content out of it. So that's the reason why I'm doing this video today. I moved to a new room and I'm actually 3 days away from moving back to Portugal, but I've been in this new room for 2 weeks. So, if you've not seen my best room tour video, I'll link it up here so you can go and check it out. But I did a room tour of the previous house or room I was living in, and when I did that room tour, it was last semester. Everything was fine with the room, but as of start of February, everything started to go downhill with this house. The beginning of March especially seems like all the problems combined together and it was just chaos. I have never before said the city where I study or where I live just for security reasons, especially because I'm doing my videos in English now. I know I don't have many viewers or subscribers, but there are creeps on the internet and I didn't feel comfortable saying where I lived, especially because I'm a girl and I'm living alone here. But now that when you see this video, I won't be living here anymore. I don't really care. I study and did all my degree in Sheffield Hallam University in the UK, and in my past 2 years I lived in student halls, and this year I decided to live in a private house, or in this case a flat. This house, how did I find it? This house that I lived in this year was in London Road in Sheffield, which I came to find out is not the ideal place to live either. So if you ever plan on coming to Sheffield, don't live in London Road. I found this on a housing website, so it was very popular. I heard of it before. It was not sus at all. I saw the house that I used to live in there and it looked so nice. If your landlord gives you red flags, don't ignore them. They have multiple properties and I ended up choosing a different one because they advertised the two properties, although they were different with similar pictures, but then when you actually looked into their website, they were different properties and they looked very different. So this other property that I ended up firstly choosing was a lot more dark, had a really small window and the furniture was very like brown wood, like dark wood. I ended up emailing back saying I actually thought a bit more about it and I would like to change to London Court, which is the building where I ended up moving to. Meanwhile, I was 2 weeks from moving to the UK and I hadn't signed a contract on a house, and I was looking at other properties that were student accommodations, and I was like, is she going to email me the new contract? She took a week and I had to email her saying, look, if you don't email me the new contract, I'll have to go for somewhere else because I need a house. I come to UK. I went to meet my brother in London because he was already there. I stayed there for a few days and then he came to the north with me and helped me move a few of my stuff, and that there was a whole situation by itself, and I'll link the video up here again, a different video, because I explained the whole situation that happened back then in that video. Just go and watch that because yeah, it's not crucial for the why I moved, but it's just so you have a little background. The rest of the time, the only problems I had with the house was the fact that a few people in there were really messy. But aside from that, in the first semester, everything was fine. So I go home for Christmas, I come back, and everything starts happening. There's this day I enter the kitchen and there's a mouse there. I opened the door and he probably got scared, so he ran and hid up under the cupboards. And I was like, okay. We complained on that day. This was February 11th. I have the emails, and we complained to maintenance. They never responded. I emailed them, my flatmates emailed them. No one responded to any of us. A few days after, I emailed the actual landlord with a subject saying health hazard, like all caps. She puts maintenance in copy, says maintenance, have a look at these. So they respond after that. Okay, we are going in, we are going to clean the kitchen, and we'll see where they are coming from. So they came, they cleaned the kitchen, and they saw where they came from, I guess, but did nothing about it because the mouse was still in the kitchen. So at this point, the mouse is getting into other people's rooms. It's not just in the kitchen. Like, a few weeks ago, one of my flatmates ends up like the mouse was in his room. So this was not a rat, at least it was a little mouse. It was in his room and he just killed it. So we were like, well, the problem must be solved. But it was not. A little stop on the mice story. In this meantime, also in February, another thing decides to start happening. And what's that? Bed bugs. I don't remember exactly when it started happening, but it was in February for sure. And I just wake up and I have bites on me. And then it just kept happening. Like, I would wake up, I had bug bites on me, and I was like, what's happening? So I see this little bug on one of my sleepers one day, and I'm like, oh, it was you, wasn't it? It was very flat and very hard to catch, so I just catched it and threw it in the toilet. And I was like, well, the problem must be solved. Then I start waking up with bites again. Oh great. Then another day I see a bug on my sheets when I wake up, and I'm like, another one. He had friends. Okay. I did the same thing. I killed it, and I was like, well, this must have been the one actually, because the other one was in my sleeper, so this one must have been the one that was biting me. I washed my sheets, I did everything, and then my boyfriend and then classmates were like, Rita, you probably have bed bugs. And I'm like, what the hell are bed bugs? How did I get them? So I went to my flatmate's room and I was like, well, can you come help and look under my mattress? He lifted my mattress and we looked and we were like, well, I don't see anything. But he said, oh, I've had one bed bug in my mattress as well. In my floor, there were 2 apartments, one in front of the other, and he had friends in this other apartment. He was like, yeah, one of them has had them as well, and he just called maintenance, and they came and sprayed his bed. So, in case you don't know, they are a pest, so if someone has them, they will just spread, and they breed very fast. I was completely bitten. I will leave a few of the pictures I have of the problem. I actually went to the hospital because one of my bites was very inflamed. So I told maintenance. They responded, it's not our duty to solve, it's your own problem. I did some research, and it is a bit of a gray area. It depends who brought the bugs, but in this case, I didn't have them last semester. I didn't have them for over a month, and someone else has had them before me, so it was clearly not me. So I was like, well, actually, I researched, and it's your duty. Because especially when you're renting, it is the landlord's duty to keep the home clean and like appropriate for living. I tell them this, and it goes more than a week, I'm sure, and they hand me a spray. And sprays don't kill the bed bugs. It might kill the living, like, adult ones, but it won't kill the eggs. They're like, well, spray it will be fine. Spray it on your bedding, spray it on your mattress, spray it everywhere, basically. Spray it on your clothes, and then wash everything. When you read the actual spray, and I have it right here with me actually, it says, do not apply to clothing or human bedding. So it's here. I'm not making it up. So these people clearly didn't know what they were doing either. And what this does basically, it repels the bugs. It doesn't kill the bugs. What I did was I took all of my bedding, I put it all to wash, I sprayed everything, and I bought new bedding and I sprayed. And for a few days, it was amazing. I was like, well, actually it worked. But it didn't. Obviously, after a few days, I started being bitten again. So by this time it was Tuesday afternoon, and on that Wednesday I was going to York. I woke up at 4 in the morning and I was itching all over the place. At least with me, what had been happening because of the bed bugs is I would wake up a lot during the night, itching a lot, feeling like I had things on my body, because I probably did. I would scratch and the bites would just become red and be really hot, hurt, and itch even more. That day, I go to the bathroom. I decided to go to my, turn on the light, go to my bed, and turn on my cell phone flashlight, and look at my bed, see if I see anything. And the first thing I see is a bed bug in my pillow. And I'm like, no way. It's on my pillow. It's on my pillow. I'm not sleeping with the bed bug close to my head. So I decide I'm going to shower. I can't do this. I'm going to take a shower, change clothes, and I'll sleep in the living room. At 4 a.m. I decide to email maintenance again. They actually sent someone from maintenance that day, but I was not home. But that Friday they sent someone. The lady comes in and she's like, well, let's have a look at your room. It looks everywhere. And then she says, I don't think it's bed bugs. You can see them, so it's not bed bugs. And I'm like, well, maybe it's something else. I don't know. I told her, oh, one of my flatmates actually told me that someone else has them. She looks at his room. She comes out. She's like, I don't think it's bed bugs. And he's like, oh, he actually has a photo of one of them. She looks at the photo. She's like, no, I don't think it's bed bugs. I don't see anything, so I don't think it's bed bugs. It just said that you can't see them. Me and my flatmate just looked at each other like, I just decided to say, actually, I think it's bed bugs. If you look at photos, they look like that. So I show her a photo and she's like, you know what? Maybe it's bed bugs. And I'm like, what? She gives us another spray. And I'm like, actually, I've been researching and sprays won't kill the bed bugs. It has to be a heat treatment to kill even the eggs and everything. And I actually told her, like, if you want me to, I don't mind taking care of it and you pay. And she was like, I'll pass that to the head office. Now just spray your mattress every day. I'm like, can you at least move me somewhere else so I don't have to stay in this room because I can't literally sleep? And she's like, no, sorry. I don't blame this woman because she doesn't give the orders. I emailed exterminators and they said the heat treatment would have to be done in the whole house. And it was thousands of pounds. And they had a insecticide treatment, but they said in that email, I have it in writing, we can't promise any guarantees that the problem will be solved. If even an full insecticide treatment wouldn't work, what would this spray do? I email all of these to the landlord, to maintenance, to everyone. I never had a response. It doesn't stop here, guys. Hi everyone, so I was currently editing the video and I decided to cut it here and do a part 2 because I was still at 39 minutes and there was still so much information and story to go through that I thought it would be best to do a part 2 instead of putting it all in one because it would be too long. So yeah, we'll leave it here. And don't forget to check part 2 because I don't know which part is crazier, honestly. So don't forget to check part 2 because there's more to this story. Not related to bed bugs or mice, but also. So, and the conclusion of everything will be in part 2 as well. So I'll see you there. And yep, that's it for this one.